welcome to MADM Academy. In this video we're going to be taking a look at analysing your current DCX. So if you've watched the previous video today, which I obviously highly recommend doing if you've not done already, you're going to be familiar with DCX and what it stands for, which is Digital Customer Experience. So we know now how important providing a great level of DCX is. We as consumers know how important it is to have a great customer experience when we deal with businesses, not just in person but online as well. And as more and more of us are switching to, interacting with businesses more and more in a digital setting, more and more businesses need to be upping the level of DCX that they're providing. So DCX is very similar to UX. UX, if you're not familiar with, is user experience, and UX refers mainly to the interactions and experience that somebody has with a singular piece of software, such as an app or a website. UX is huge in app development, website development, gaming development, things like that, where somebody has a particular experience with a product, with a piece of software usually. Whereas DCX is more to do with the holistic experience that somebody can have. DCX is a holistic experience that somebody can have when they're interacting with your business online. So think about it from a consumer's point of view, which is much easier to do because we're all using digital technologies very, very frequently. What are the experiences that we can have with a business in a digital way? So let's look at Netflix. We're all familiar with Netflix. If you're trying to find a film to watch and you find the film that you want to watch, you try and watch it, you click play, the film loads up, and all of a sudden it starts buffering, it starts loading, it's taking a while. You're waiting more than 30 seconds or so and it's still not loaded. That's going to really impact the level of experience, the experience that you're having with that business. And it's not just things like poor loading times, it's things like, we've all used YouTube recently with the ads, for instance. A lot of people are talking about the user experience that people are having with YouTube, for instance. But let's think about a lot of businesses where there's going to be multiple touch points across multiple places online. So that could be, a website, it could be an Instagram page, it could be the order part of your website. So if you're selling things online, for instance, I always like the example of an indoor plant shop. So indoor plant shop has a website, they're trying to sell plants online as well as in the shop, so we'll put an ordering page, and let's say that you as a customer have found some lovely looking plants on their website, you want to order them, but you get through to the ordering page on the website and you're trying to type in your address and it's just not accepting it, or you're trying to find the shipping information, the prices and that kind of thing, and it's not there clearly for you to find, and this is all going to have like an overall negative impact on the experience that you have with this business. It's certainly not the individual touch points, and as we looked at in that previous video, DX, so digital experience, does refer to the single touch points, whereas DCX, here we're looking at the overall experience that somebody has when interacting with your business online. So start by thinking the business that you're running, or if you're a digital marketer or digital lead running a business, running digital marketing on behalf of a business, start putting yourself in the shoes of the customers. Okay, what sort of experience is somebody going to have when they interact with your website, for instance? And let's just start by saying that you cannot create a DCX. And this is going to sound a bit of a contradiction. It's the same as you cannot create a UX. And this might make it a little bit more clearer. This is an example that a lot of students find it a lot easier to understand. So you cannot create a user experience. What you can do is create the environment for a better user experience, for a better UX, for a better DCX. This is an example. If you're still not quite sure what we're talking about right now, if you go into a restaurant, they do not create your experience. You have your experience. But what that restaurant can do is create the environment that can lead to you having a much better user experience. So this is all about identifying, what we want to, what our customers expect. So it's anticipation of what your customers should expect. So let's say you run a tattoo studio, for instance. What are the sort of things that most clients are going to need, from your digital presence? So this is about anticipation of users or customers' desires, needs. We can put here desires and needs. So what does the average customer, what does the ideal customer that is going to be using your business, what is it that they're expecting? What is the the standard? What is the industry standard for what customers want? And we all go to different sites and different businesses for different things. So, if people want something that's fast, cheap, and easy, then you need to create an environment, an online environment that's going to be conducive to a customer having, a cheap, easy, efficient, they can switch off, they don't have to do too much thinking, versus something that is, let's just say, it's, a one-off, expensive luxury item. Let's say somebody's worked for a company for 10 years and the owners want to treat them to a nice watch, might be a nice example. So let's say an expensive piece of jewelry. I can never remember how to spell jewelry, it's one of them words. So one-off expensive luxury item. The environment that you're creating over here, we've got, let's say, Aldi. So a shopping experience in Aldi, for instance, is going to be here somewhere for the experience. And then down here, what is a brand that we're all familiar with that's sort of one-off expensive luxury? Let's say something like BMW. This is the car maker BMW, known for very high quality cars. So there's Aldi versus BMW. Kind of silly examples, but we know what we're sort of thinking about here. So anticipation of customers' needs and desires. People go to Aldi for a reason. People go and buy one-off expensive items. I appreciate that BMW is not jewellery, just to avoid any further confusion there. But I hope that you're with our example right now, where we need to be anticipating really what our customers want and need. And once we can start doing that, we can then start crunching the actual experience that our customers are having, and then start identifying the areas where it's not really quite matching up. What are customers wanting, and what are we providing? What can we sort of look at and say, this isn't quite right? If you're selling indoor plants, like that example earlier, so let's say selling indoor plants, you have a high street shop and new e-commerce store. Okay, what might cause a poor user experience here? Something like difficult to find on Google, and this is something that a lot of businesses struggle with, certainly when they're just getting started. And if you're wanting to find out how you can make it easier for people to find you on Google, then please do look out for the search and SEO sessions that we have here on MADM Academy. Or if it's something that you really need some help with one-to-one, then reach out to us and we can sort out consultancy sessions. But for now, this could affect somebody's experience that they have with a brand. So they've seen your shop on the high street, but for whatever reason, they can't go into the shop, pick it up, go and sit on the bus with it and take it home. What they want to do is get home, order it online, browse through your collection, but they can't find you on Google. So that could lead to a poor customer experience, not to mention the fact that you're probably going to be losing customers if that's happening to you. In fact, you certainly are going to be losing customers if they can't find you on Google. Or let's say, they go to an Instagram page expecting, anticipating, a nice, colourful page, that's in keeping with the brand and products, and actually instead what they find is a boring, colourless, and out of date pictures. So that's going to affect the brand image altogether, isn't it? It really is. And we're starting to see that this example of an indoor plant shop, let's turn this green, just to make it a bit more planty, is completely different from some other businesses. For some other businesses, let's say you need to get your your tyres flat on your car, you need a mechanic. Again, this is going to be affected, down here. Your experience is going to be affected if you can't actually find them on Google. You're not going to spend 20 minutes of your life trying to find that one garage. You'll just go somewhere else. Having said that, you probably aren't expecting a colourful Instagram page with inspirational quotes and warm, living rooms and all that good stuff. So this is about anticipating what your particular clients need, customers need, and providing them with an environment that is, like we say, conducive to having like a great experience. There's something in sales and marketing which is creating the right buyer environment. So this was actually done well before the advent of the internet. It's talked about in depth in a great advertising book by somebody called Joseph Sugarman. So I'm just going to find this for you now. Copywriting Ad Week book, Joseph Sugarman. Fantastic book. Something that I've learned so much from. The Adweek copywriting book, if you want to treat yourself to this, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. You're going to learn so much. And in it, it does explain a lot of things to do with, the correct buyer environment. And, that's really what we're doing here in this part of our digital marketing journey. We're trying to create the right buyer environment. The right environment, so in this case, it's the online environment or digital environment, which can lead to the great, or let's say the correct, digital customer experience, the one that we want to provide to customers as well. So start analysing the different parts of your business online, such as websites, individual aspects of your website, such as pages, contact forms. Go onto your Instagram. How easy are you to find on Google or on other search engines? Are you running a video marketing campaign, but nobody's really seeing your videos? Are they difficult to load? Are they difficult to play on a mobile phone, for instance? What might look great on desktop might look terrible, or very, if not impossible, to see on a smaller device. So take all of these things into account. What about accessibility? Now, accessibility is something that you don't hear talked about anywhere near enough. So accessibility is all to do with making sure that our websites are accessible by people that have maybe got poor eyesight, other physical impairments or disabilities, and making sure that we make our content, our websites, as accessible as possible to all users as well. So that is something that you really need to be thinking about and taking a look at in more detail as well. It's something we do cover on MADM Academy, by the way. If you're thinking about it, it will be one of our future videos where we're going to have a dedicated session just specifically to do with accessibility, which is just so important. And yeah, just to sum up this video, hopefully you can go off, use your online customer journey map that you'd made yesterday to help sort of jog your mind in terms of the things that you can be looking at, and start writing a list down of the expectations that your customer has. So, what are the general expectations that somebody has? If you were buying from, a similar business, what do you expect? Do you expect, one-to-one interactions? For a lot of businesses buying things, they do want to have like a one-to-one interaction with somebody. Do you just want it to be, cheap and cheerful? Do you want it to be slower, give you more choice, time to think, time to think, for instance? These are all expectations that users have. What do they want from interacting with you? What is their desired outcome? If I can just change that. So expectations, what is their desired outcome? And are you providing that? Or where are the shortcomings? So providing this. And if not, you can start then analysing, writing down a list of 4 or 5 things that are affecting your business and, or more importantly, affecting the experience that somebody can have when they interact with your business online.